What's going on, guys? My name is Jack. This is Nick, and we are the Blue Chip Buyers presenting you our first ever VeCap. So it's Friday. We're going to be going over what's been happening in Veve this past week today, and then get into some cool stuff that's happening next week as well. So over the last week, we've seen the biggest pump in Veve history, just market wide. You know, we've seen crazy things happen collectible for each collectible when it drops, but this was market wide and it was big. So it's a new year. The drops that were being announced were kind of iffy thus far. So a lot of reason to just put your money in blue chips. Which blue chip buyers? That's what we've been into. So the first thing that we wanted to go over is some superheroes. So Nick is way more into the superhero side of things, so he's going to take you into what's been going on in that space.
Yeah, so since the new year, since 12 Days of Veve and the recent AMA, a lot of stuff has been going up, unlike how we've ever seen before. Risso went from about 8.2K up to 25K. It's now around 23K with a lot of listings, so we'll see how it goes from there. Up next, Todd. Todd went from about 3.7K up to 9K. It's around 8.8 right now. Again, we'll see how it goes. But like Jack said, a lot of people putting stuff into blue chips. This week actually made big news that a secret rare ultimate animated Spider-Man, his FA, it sold for 50K. And so now you got floor prices up at 68K, unlike we've ever seen. And of course, we'll take a look at Superman, that a lot of people see as a long-term hodl, went from 1,500 up to 6K, now down to 5.1.
Pretty crazy. So over on my side of things, which is obviously Disney and Golden Moments, Partner Statue finally saw its big break. I've had it since the market first opened. I bought it 2,300, so an insane gain. Super happy with where it's at. I'm gonna hold this forever, and I think this is just the beginning. Another notable one, R2's been killing it. Went to bed when it was at 3K, and then I woke up 4.4, consolidating a little bit, but that's going insane. And then Nick is really into the Steamboat Mickey, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, we got a lot of people who are debating whether or not maybe they should sell a Walt and stack on Mickey's and, I'm sorry, Willie's. And if Steamboat Willie's are going to eventually be on the same page as Walt's or something like that, just because Steamboat Willie was the first time the world ever saw Mickey Mouse. But the partner statue is the first time that Veve and Web3 sees Mickey Mouse. So very interesting, those two sides and the back and forth there.
Definitely. You got the stamps?
Yeah, I got you. So finally, stamps went up to 435 for the ultra rare Day of the Dead, up to almost 700. It'll be very interesting to see as people who collect stamps, how many are in the app right now, how many are going to join the app, and what they really care about, because some people who really like comics care about mint number, but also wear and tear over time and the grading system. And a lot of stuff like that. Maybe stamp collectors won't care about common versus uncommon versus rare. They'll just be like, hey, I just want a whole set. So, but we'll never know until they get here. So it'll be interesting to see.
Right. And, like I was saying earlier, like our generation and those below us, like barely know what mail is. So who knows that if this is actually like, a tried and true thing for the next 50 years, it has been for the last 100 stamp collecting, but I'm not sure that we're going to see that same stuff going into the future. So what we heard today from Jermaine Rogers was that he is officially going to be dropping his second drop. First one was the Darrow from Decon. This is Vale Specimen from the same universe. So he announced in mini AMA today on the Discord some specifics just about his journey and particularly about this drop. So I think it's really cool to note about the Darrow. This was, the Decon drop from late last year. When the announcement in the AMA, the first AMA last week, it took off and it saw like from 1K to 1.5, maybe even 900 to 1.5. So it's been really up there since the drop. But I think what's cool to note is that with the price, the listings have also gone up. So I think people are really riding this hype and maybe not in it for the long term. So that'll be interesting to see play out.
Yeah, completely. I agree. So Jermaine Rogers has dropped the Creeping Darrow. He also dropped some of the Backstabber bunnies in the past. And so these Veil Specimen are going to be in the same universe as the Darrow. Like Jack said, he mentioned it in the AMA and price went up a little bit. But what we're looking at here is we've got four different rarities and they're all different prices. So it's not a blind box. You got the red common going for 40 gems, pink uncommon going for 50 gems, panda looking one, the rare going for 70. And it looks like something from a cave in the Arctic going for 90 at the ultra rare. So Jack, I'm curious what you think you're going to go for on this drop. I like the panda a lot. But I'll probably only have enough gems for the common just to go for a flip. I think a lot of people could potentially hodl this item or flip it while no one's watching it as they wait for the next thing from Jermaine Rogers to come down the line.
Definitely.
But I think that I'm just going to flip it.
Yeah, I would definitely flip it too. You know, my site is set on R2. He belongs right there next to C3PO. But I think that the ultra rare is sick. It's an ultra rare. People are gonna want that. The rare is sick because it looks like a panda. Common is the easiest to get. So I think a lot of people are gonna be there. That's why I'm going to, with that thesis, go for the uncommon, the pink one. We will see what that means. It's a specimen 129. I don't know much about the universe, but if it's anything like Veve, numbers matter, and that's a high number, so maybe less desirable. I'm really just trying to land one to flip it. I'm not really trying to hodl or anything. My heart is elsewhere, of course.
Right.
But before that, we definitely have something notable, which is the Fantastic Four Sue Storm, Invisible Woman's second appearance. This one is a more realistic appearance than her first one. And what do you think about this one, Nick?
Yeah, so it's interesting because this one is a blind box. So 50 gems in the shop. We got 16,500 editions of the common and then 12,500 of the uncommon. Those are pretty cool, pretty basic stances. And then the rare seems kind of interesting, like a meme a little bit, just because the legs looks like they're in an awkward position. But there are 6,500 of those, 3,650 of the ultra rare, which is animated, and then the ultimate animated secret rare there are 1,500 of. That one's pretty cool. She goes invisible, comes back out from being invisible, throws her little like phase like balls, and that one's pretty cool. I think it's interesting because like you said, it's not the first edition. The Marvel Mighties was the first edition, which you may want to touch on right here.
Yeah, so I think it was really I think this was really crazy how like we saw this giant dip in listings right about here. And I'm not too positive if this was the announcement. I think this was the teaser though, right here. When somebody on Twitter or something said that somebody will appear and then disappear. So people were kind of anticipating Invisible Woman, but not sure. And then this big spike right here was the official announcement. And I think same thing with the Darrow. The listings have gone up with the price. So I think this is indicative of people not really being too into this for the long term and people being in it to ride the hype and kind of cashing out at this point. So I personally wouldn't get in right here. I don't love, the Fantastic Four or anything. There's no need. I think it's run its course for the most part. It's seen its insane growth. So I'm not really looking at it.
Totally.
To be honest.
Totally. I mean, that's fair. One thing that was interesting though that made me think about it was how the Captain America secret rare did this week. So he went from just under 2K basically up to 7K overnight. And so a lot of people in the spaces were like, what do I do? Do I hodl? Do I take my profits? And this one is also not a first appearance because the Marvel Mighty Steve Rogers was the first appearance, I believe.
Yep.
But it still did well because it's the more realistic, it's ultimate animated secret rare. Maybe we'll see Deadpool pulling some numbers like that in the future if people stop hating his sweater or if you can take the sweater off. Of course, there are going to be more Fantastic Four collectibles coming in the future. So kind of like the Marvel Mighty of Invisible Woman, maybe every time the Human Torch comes out or Mr. Fantastic or the Thing, the non-FA Invisible Woman will reap some reward there too. So I understand how people might want to hodl, but like you, I've got other things on my mind. So if I do get this in the drop, I'll collect my profits quickly and try to put my gems into something that I have a bit more of an eye for.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but after a few weeks of no drops at all, or of course, my favorite comic of all time, and everybody else's alpha fight or whatever that is. But yeah, so this is the third one that we have to discuss, which is the first ever complete story arc, 6 days in a row, Spider-Man. Don't know how this is gonna do. If I get one on the drop, I'm gonna flip it quick for profit. I'm not too into the comics, as you know, but I think it's really cool that they're doing the story arc. I think it's an awesome first with some great value. But what about you? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. 6 days, 6 drops. So that makes it 8 days, 8 drops total. This is the first of an entire arc, and I have no idea how rare this story is, or any of these comics. I'd probably have to check out Cryptos and Comics or Sleep In. But it's the first time they're doing something. Vivi said they're going to experiment with their different types of drops. This is a cool way to do it. I think, like all things, it'll drop, have an initial pump, people buy from FOMO, and then maybe settle down and then go up long term over the next few weeks. But maybe the fact that it's the first arc ever could throw a wrench into it. So it'll be very
Definitely.
interesting to see how it goes. And it's only 7 gems, so I'll be going for every drop. I know that's for sure.
Me too, me too. So yeah, that's really awesome. So a VeCap of the VeCap. So things definitely seem to be settling down from this insane week of pumping. Whether that's due to these three big drop announcements, well, big is subjective, or what. But who knows? So I think we're definitely getting consolidation, which is totally healthy, and I'm totally good to see it because again, I still need that R2. But yeah, what else do you got, Nick?
Yeah, man. Just we're seeing which ones are the most flex worthy right now. We got this interesting drop week ahead of us. Some might have sold from this pump to gain liquid. Others might be screaming blue chip and hodling their grails. We
Us.
got yeah, yeah, exactly. We got money transfer license coming soon. Will this pump continue then? Will everyone sell when cash out comes? Will whales come in to save the day? No one can say for sure, but stay updated. As always, do your own due diligence. And just a huge shout out to the Vivi community. We're glad we can start something like this, so we can stay in contact with all of you and discuss our take on things. So please like,
Definitely, yeah.
subscribe, and check the description for our social media links.
Yeah, seriously. Obviously, community, we love you so much. Bash us as much as you can in the comments. We want to get better. We want to see what you guys want to hear. We're doing this for you guys as well as ourselves. I think, we just love the community so much. So we just want to, show our love that way. And I want you guys to do the same. So let us know what you want to see more of, what you didn't like, what you liked. So yeah, as always,
Absolutely.
do your own due diligence, and we'll see you later on the next VCap. Thanks for watching, guys.